0. That is exactly the number of shots on target France had at halftime. I mean, let that sink in for just a second. We are talking about the tournament favorites here, the absolute biggest rivals to the European champions, a squad with literally Kylian Mbappé on the pitch, and yet, zilch. 0 shots on target in the first 45 minutes. It looked like an absolute disaster waiting to happen. But then, one brilliant tactical change at halftime completely flipped the script. By the 90th minute, Mbappé had scored twice, shattered a massive record, and France walked away with a 3-1 victory. Let's get right into it.
Welcome to The Explainer, everyone. I am so glad you're here. Okay, so today we're breaking down the anatomy of what might just be the most dramatic halftime turnaround of the 2026 World Cup so far. We're going to look closely at the tactics, the history, and the specific moves that took France from a looming catastrophe to a historic triumph. If you're the kind of fan who loves understanding the why behind the final score, well, you are in the perfect place.
Section 1. The Ghost of 2002, a historical threat resurfaces. So before we can really analyze exactly what happened on the pitch in 2026, we've got to look back. We need to understand the immense historical pressure hanging over this specific matchup. Because before this match, these two nations had only ever met once before at a World Cup. It was 2002, and Senegal pulled off this monumental 1-0 upset against defending champions France. It honestly remains one of the most shocking results in World Cup history. Fast forward 24 years later, and the ghost of 2002 was suddenly flickering back to life. Senegal had a real chance to do it all over again. And for the first 45 minutes, man, Senegal was absolutely dominating, and France just looked completely lost.
Section 2. Senegal's first half dominance, outplaying the favorites. From the absolute very first whistle, Senegal wasn't just surviving out there, they were comprehensively the better team.
Just think about the sheer volume of missed opportunities here. Senegal was just bossing the midfield completely. France had absolutely no rhythm, no speed. At one point, Nicholas Jackson races clear on this blistering counterattack, but his low shot agonizingly pings right off the post. Then, right on the stroke of halftime, Ismail Assar misses a glorious close-range sitter, somehow blasting the ball over the bar. And meanwhile, Kylian Mbappé, he was rendered completely invisible. The French attack was basically non-existent. When manager Didier Deschamps walked into that halftime dressing room, he knew for a fact his team had been thoroughly outplayed.
Section 3. The halftime tactical shift, Deschamps' zero-cost masterstroke. So, what exactly do you do when your entire game plan is just falling apart on the biggest stage in the world? Well, you make an adjustment.
And this right here is the key to the entire match. In the first half, the French attack was incredibly stagnant, and Mbappé was just totally isolated from the rest of the squad. But at halftime, Deschamps made absolutely no personnel changes. Seriously, no substitutions whatsoever. Instead, he made this subtle but completely devastating positional tweak. He pushed Mikele Olise centrally and moved Ousmane Dembélé out wide. It was an adjustment that worked with absolute aplomb. Suddenly, Olise was able to just fizz these gorgeous passes straight through the lines, specifically trying to bring Mbappé back to life.
A positional change that cost nothing, and it unlocked an entirely different France. That quote perfectly summarizes the brilliance of elite management, doesn't it? It really was that simple, and yet so profound. Now, Mbappé was actually a little slow to get going even in the second half, but then there was this highly controversial moment where Sadio Mane seemed to clip him, and a penalty was outright denied. That denial seemingly flipped a switch in Mbappé. It brought out his pugnacious, super aggressive side, and with Olise now operating perfectly in the center to feed him, the trap was definitively set.
Section 4. The late goal chaos. 4 goals in 30 minutes. You guys, what followed was nothing short of explosive, as a direct result of that single tactical adjustment.
Follow along with this timeline really quick, because things move fast. 66th minute, the game completely turns. Mbappé strikes, making it 1-0. Then, 82nd minute, Bradley Barcola, who came on as a sub, makes it 2-0 off a beautiful assist from Rabiot. But hold on, Senegal was not going down without a fight. Deep into stoppage time 90+5, Ibrahim Mbappe pulls one back for Senegal with an assist from Dyer. For exactly 1 minute, the ghost of 2002 flickered again. Could they actually pull off a miracle equalizer? The answer was a resounding no, because literally 1 minute later at 90+6, Mbappe scores his second goal of the match, assisted brilliantly by the centrally positioned Olise, sealing the 3-1 victory. France stuttered, they steadied, and then they stunned.
Section 5. Mbappe makes World Cup history, breaking the all-time record.
While the team comeback was obviously incredible, we absolutely cannot ignore the individual greatness we witnessed on the pitch that night.
That crucial breakthrough goal in the 66th minute? Yeah, that wasn't just the goal that saved France's tournament hopes. That was actually Mbappe's 57th international goal, which officially tied him for the all-time goal-scoring record for the French national team.
But of course, he didn't stop there. That dagger in the 96th minute, that was goal number 58. With that strike, Kylian Mbappé officially broke France's all-time goal-scoring record. And beyond just that domestic record, bagging his 58th goal now brings him within just 2 goals of matching Miroslav Klose's absolute all-time World Cup scoring record. 2 monumental records, essentially touched in one single night. It's unreal.
Section 6. What this tells us, the anatomy of a great team. So, taking a step back for a second, what's the major takeaway from this entire clash? Well, for Senegal, it's honestly a brutally harsh lesson. They completely dominated the tournament favorites for an entire half, had a shot ping off the post, missed an absolute sitter over the bar, and ultimately, they had absolutely nothing to show for it.
But for France, the lesson here is crystal clear. True greatness isn't about playing perfectly from minute 1. It's about finding a solution when literally everything is going wrong. Brushing off a remarkably dreary start to their World Cup campaign with a single, zero-cost tactical adjustment, that is exactly what separates truly great teams from merely good ones. They proved that even at their absolute worst, they have a manager who can seamlessly adapt, and well, they have Kylian Mbappé.
Which leaves us with this final, burning question. If this is what France looks like when they play a terrible 45 minutes, if they can still walk away with a 3-1 victory, brilliant tactical shifts, and broken records, is that enough to win the entire 2026 World Cup? Think about that for a bit. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. If you want to understand not just the final score, but the strategy and the story behind it, make sure you join us for the next explainer. Keep learning, and I'll see you next time.